All right, let's go. Ayo, we're three hot guys sharing our opinions because we're special and different. Gold medals, we're winning. Can't help it if we're burdened by our intellect. You can play checkers while we pretend we know the rules to chess. The council has spoken, and we are the chosen. Your nose is broken because I broke it.
Sucks.
And welcome back to another episode of We Love the Council. Couple. This is probably going up around Thanksgiving. We've got Jordan in the booth.
Oh my god, I'm so full and inflated by wonderful turkey breast.
Dude,
We've got Danny.
that was way too sexual. Like, now if you said stuffing.
I'm getting stuffed with stuffing.
Shut up! We've got Becky on the ones and twos. Can you people please stop whatever you're doing? I'm not a fan of it. I need you to cut it out immediately. So hopefully we are coming to you in the throes of a food coma. I hope you all had a happy Thanksgiving if you live in America. If you live outside of America, I hope you enjoy hell when you die. I hope you enjoy the place you will be going of eternal fire for not adequately feeling grateful at the benefit of, just, I don't know, you know.
I'm grateful
The
for
turkey
deals
gods.
and shopping.
Oh, yes.
Wait, this might actually be airing on Black Friday.
Oh,
Folks,
yeah.
remember, if you are Black Friday shopping, keep buying. You will get deals.
Yes.
Trample whoever you have to get there. But on this day, I think it's important that we recognize the efforts of the individuals who make this holiday possible. Firstly, the people working the Talk Turkey hotline. Are you familiar with this?
No.
Okay, so there's a hotline you can call in America to help you with cooking turkey. Because if you guys are unfamiliar, I guess I'll explain the concept of Thanksgiving to our non-American viewers.
Fair enough.
Every year, every American family decides to get together and cook a meal they have not cooked at all during the year.
Correct.
And
Yes,
so
this is true.
invariably, things go wrong and taste like shit.
Yep.
And so this hotline exists for you to be like, hey, I've actually been cooking chicken for the last 9 months. I don't know how to cook turkey. What do I do? And they'll just tell you what to do or how to fix it or why you shouldn't just throw a completely frozen turkey in a deep fryer. Condolences to anyone whose house burned down. But it's not the only hotline that keeps the glue of America together. Today, I want to talk about something that Danny brought to our attention. Would you like to explain, Danny, the U.S. woke hotline?
Yeah, sure. So, the word, I guess I'll start with the word woke, really means nothing anymore. But
Correct. It's very true.
It's just thing I dislike.
Thing
It's thing
I
I
don't
dislike.
like,
It's
right.
the second panel of the Drake meme. It's the guy who's smiling and then his smile goes down. It's hello human resources. It's
Yep.
just thing I don't like.
Yes.
It's thing I don't like.
So, of course, it's really funny to call everything I do woke. Like I'll go to the bathroom and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, man, that toilet, woke.
I am shitting
I
so
got a clog
wokely right now.
It is literally
fries
a
I
woke
eat-
toilet. I'm not gonna lie.
Mega woke. So
Yep.
there's this website called thewokehotline.com, and it reads like one of those websites you use to file kind of an anonymous claim to have this company or whoever investigate for like almost like an FBI tips site, right? But in the style of, is your company woke? And so I'll describe it for our listeners. You load the website. It's a simple page. The top bar of the website has a rainbow on it,
It is-
across the top.
Astounding. I feel so bad that I clicked the link before we started recording because, as you both know, I roared with laughter when I
Yeah.
saw this website. It's unbelievable.
A classic Jordan scream laugh.
Yeah.
It has the globe with the U.S. woke hotline in the middle of it. And it says, of course, in big text, has your company gone woke? And there's a clown emoji for the O for woke. And you have two options and a privacy policy on the bottom. The first option is no, not really, which is red dotted. And ooh, that's the bad choice. But the good choice, the blue button, is yes, it's clown world.
Awesome, dude.
You click yes, it's clown world. It goes into
I gotta
another
click it.
part. It says, would you like to report these concerns through our private platform?
I mean, I'm literally filling it out right now for Will of the Council.
No. You got
Don't worry, I'll describe everything on this
Okay.
page Together, we can end these harmful practices and ensure that companies remain focused on excellence and not ideology. And there's an emoji of the man pregnant. So you get a little bit of mpreg on the screen. It's the iPhone mpreg guy.
That is awesome.
I do kind of be sending that. This is me after Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
I will say.
Actually, me.
It's time to remember the reason for the season.
This is me after a butterball.
Can we get some submissions for the Will of the Council LLC? I mean, I feel like this is the number one woke podcast on the planet.
For sure,
woke.
the three of us drawn as the male pregnant.
No,
Yeah.
shut
Tears.
up, please. I
We
need you to
need it.
shut up.
I need it.
Nope, I don't.
I need this on a shirt.
Oh my god. Simpler times. And
I will say, to me, it looks like, I hate to be like this, it is just another example of what many have been calling the soy right.
Yes, so fucking
After,
true.
the Republican project has won the presidency, the House, the Senate. It is now the dominant cultural force, right? Despite the fact that no one really likes them.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
They occupy all of the halls of power and are trying to square that with the fact that people find them repulsive. And so what they're doing now is just adopting the mannerisms of the Chuck Wendig, Lin-Manuel Miranda style stuff that people were into in 2013, but just inverted. It's freaking clown world out there.
Lois, it's literally it's I love this phrase, is that it's like everyone's a liberal. Everyone's a fucking liberal. Even people that believe far right ideology, deep down at their core, they're fucking liberal. Look at this shit. This shit is ridiculous. iPhone emoji
I'm on the
ass
at woke hotline Twitter page right now, and it is completely analogous to the most annoying engagement farming person you've ever seen. And I'm looking at thread alert. What happens when a parent pushes their child into a fantasy world? Let's unpack this disturbing situation. 1 /thread emoji. And it's okay, you can't post oh my God. It's at 0 likes on this post as well. It's just
sauceless.
I think there needs to be a reorientation of political boundaries in the United States rather than, our current paradigm. It needs to be divided into people who are annoying online in a good way and people who are annoying online in a bad way.
Correct.
And that can be the two different houses of power in America. If you're doing a bit and it takes, then you get to, let's say pass one piece of legislation. But if you do a bit and it doesn't take, we put you in jail.
oh fuck, I'm going to jail. Fuck. It's over. I guess I'll describe the submission page if you guys want. It's really, it's just
please.
a form.
Yeah.
You go past the mpreg emoji and it says share your experiences, and it's just a little submission form. But what I find funnier is if you click the privacy policy, it shows usually you'll get a long legal kind of document, right? Or it's something just we retain this, blah, blah, blah. This is 4 sentences. And one of them is, how long do we retain your data? If you leave a message or submit a document, we retain it indefinitely. That's it.
Nice. That's
man.
Thank God for that.
Wow, that's what I like to hear. Wouldn't it be funny if rather than a grift to try and file a bunch of frivolous lawsuits or whatever, this was instead a mechanism by which they were trying to get the dumbest, most easy to influence person at Toyota to send company handbooks that are currently under NDA.
That's genius.
Can imagine.
I'm imagining a Wonka style situation where the chocolatiers that are not aligned with Wonka spread a rumor that he's woke and then are upload your classified documents here, and then just steal all the industry secrets. I think this could be a really good heist if pulled off correctly.
That probably is what's happening here in some way or another, right? That's kind of the thing that is.
Send us your training documents from your law firm.
The more you say it,
please.
the more I agree, because the first line of the privacy policy is who we are, and usually that explains we're this company trying to do that. It just says our website address is wokehotline.com. That's it. That's who we are, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I think
you have
at
no
this point,
idea who's doing this, where it comes from. That's it. It's just this is us.
I am continuing the belief that Republicans, conservatives, all these people who are into this anti-woke shit have just outed themselves as very easy to trick, right? And if you are one of those people listening to this podcast, how are you still here? I think, constant selling of stuff to you, just hawking shit all the time, you've kind of isolated yourself. You're like a grandma commenting on a Facebook AI post what your home address is and your PayPal information. You know what I mean? And I think this is just going to work. It's just going to work. People are going to send in company shit. People are going to give their data away for free. It's a genius move. It's a wonderful heist. Good job, US Woke Hotline. I can't wait to see what you succeed in.
I think it's just stupid.
I know. I think it is too. But I don't know. I think it is. Lord knows what happens from this. Where does this information go? How is this not a heist?
Yeah, the more we talk about it, the more I feel like it's just like a scam.
Yeah, I'm like looking up Woke Hotline and I can't find anything about who they are or like what they represent. So I'm pretty sure that like this is just some guy in his basement.
Yes, exactly what I think it is.
You could set up an anti-woke hotline.
Ooh.
Okay.
What?
All right.
Okay.
I don't have any other ideas other than that. I just think that we should do
Male
it.
content creators become.
They submit like images from like Target that have like, a rainbow color and we like send a nice worded email to like the head of Target and we're like, good job.
Oh yeah.
You know what actually is
I get it.
the other version of this is, have you guys seen the TikTok of the guy who shows up at your office and cusses out your manager?
Yes.
Oh man. Dear listener, so what this is this guy runs a service in quotes where you can submit an anonymous tip to him and he will show up to your place of work pretending, I guess. I mean, it's not really a pretend. Saying he's a member of like something that sounds like it has authority behind it so that they listen to him, and he'll pull out a clipboard and then he'll read from the clipboard. He'll be like, "You are a nasty, fat, smelling racist." And then they're like, "Excuse me, what the heck did you just say?" And he'll like start pushing them and he'll be like, "Get the fuck out of my face." He just goes there to start a fight on your behalf.
I need to
good.
do this. I need to do this job.
You need to be
that
You would
guy.
be a great
I
like
need to
member
be
of
that
this
guy.
team.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Okay. Are you guys ready for the post?
Oh my god. Yes, I'm so ready. I'm so ready to do this. I'm so ready to like.
I'm ready.
Oh man, holiday time. Can't
All
wait.
right.
Ugh.
So today's posts are holiday themed. They are Thanksgiving themed. And because so much on this show, we talk about the division between Americans, at least two of them, maybe all three, are going to be about the fallout of the election.
Awesome.
Yes.
Relative to its impact on Thanksgiving. Now,
fights.
I know you all have probably just experienced your own Thanksgiving fight. Time to live vicariously through those who had worse ones. This first one comes from Red Group Clan. It's from AITAH. Am I the asshole for not listening to my girlfriend to cut off my dad because he voted for Trump?
God. Here we go.
Okay. Great. Great. Good stuff.
My girlfriend, Chelsea Clinton, my girlfriend of 5 years, hates Trump very much because he's all about shipping off illegals and her parents are illegal immigrants. First off, incredible first sentence.
Wow.
Yeah, I
Yes.
mean, sounds pretty valid to me.
Yep. I'm right there with you, hun. Yep.
So when my dad voted for Trump and Trump won, she told me she didn't want us to go see him for his birthday, Thanksgiving, and maybe even Christmas. Eventually she calmed down and she said I could go see him, but she wouldn't be coming. That's when I made plans with my sister to see dad for his birthday. Sometime after that, my girlfriend changed her mind again and said she's not okay with me seeing him either. My sister already told my dad we were coming, so now I have to follow through. If nothing else, then to back up my sister. We have to be a unit against him because we find him annoying. This is always a
Great
side.
side.
Now my girlfriend is upset that I'm going to see my dad since she changed her mind after we already made plans. I've been holding my tongue on this, but this is not a giant red flag. It's manipulative to try and tell you not to see your family, right? Not to mention immature. If it was the other way around, I'd be the abusive, controlling man. Okay, don't jerk yourself off here. You're on Reddit.
Good Lord.
Plus, if I asked her to do the same thing, she would refuse because her family is very important to her. Not that I would ever ask her because I'd be considerate enough to not put her in this position of choosing between partner or family. Gee, really, do not
Holy
break an arm
fuck.
jerking yourself off
I didn't think
here.
it was possible to suck your own dick, but damn.
Yeah, he's
I'm hearing
making
some
it look easy.
Hoover sounds going on over here. Jesus
Bro, double
Christ.
jointed.
She's just taking advantage of the fact that I removed both of my bottom ribs so that hold on. No. She's just taking advantage of the fact that I don't like my dad very much, so she thinks she can get away with this. My mom voted for Trump too, but we aren't cutting her off. Part of why I've held my tongue is because I think she uses all these phrases and conflict management methods from couples therapists on TikTok as a veil to disarm me and make me the bad guy whenever I try to stand up for myself in the fact that she's being manipulative. Then I'm not respecting her feelings. Am I the asshole for going to see my dad anyway when my girlfriend wants me to cut him off? Okay. I'll just begin with this. Can you please not use Reddit as your therapist? Yes. I don't need to know. I think that she's getting all this information from content management TikToks, and she's going to make me feel like I'm the bad guy using therapeutic speak because she's been, oh my God, I don't care. Let's focus on the question at issue,
man.
Which is, how are we feeling about you can't go see your dad because you voted for Trump?
This is completely unrelated to the post. Just that this one feels mega real because the poster completely forgot to like end their post, I guess. Like usually we'll always see something at the end that's like, so like at the end of the day, like blah blah blah. No, this person just was like, yeah, and like this and that and this and that. So like whatever.
This couldn't have been written by ChatGPT because this person got distracted in a way that only a bisexual millennial with ADHD can.
On Reddit. On Reddit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man. Oh, this is tough.
I mean, I can take a crack
go
at this.
ahead. Yeah.
Okay, so as much as I want to be like, yes, Queen, kill your evil Trump-loving dad, you know, I do think this is a kind of a thorny one. I don't think this is cut and dry at all. So, as a general rule, in the wake of the election, I gave people like 2 weeks of get out of being out of your mind free. That applied to people who were like, the world is ending, the sky is falling, etc. But it also applied to people who were like, yeah, Trump is going to start the American Reich. It's like, okay, listen, I'm just going to give everyone a pass on whatever nonsense comes out of their mouth for the next couple of weeks before they become normal again.
Right.
And I think the girlfriend had a pretty passionate, immediate reaction, which is, your dad did this. I don't want to be a part of his family or see him anymore. I think that reaction is understandable, if not a little, you know, kind of irrational. Right?
Yeah.
But
yeah, sure.
I
guess.
I really think the second half of this is the stupidest, most annoying thing I've ever read. Because the thing that they are getting in this big ass fight about is this like weird social faux pas.
Sure.
So neither of them want to go see the dad, but they said they would see the dad. And then the girlfriend was like, I'm pulling out of seeing the dad and you are too. And he was like, but I already told my sister I was going, and the sister communicated we're both going. So if I say we're not going, the sister looks bad, and then the dad will think that the sister and I are not on the same page and will be annoying to the sister in a way he isn't annoying to me if we were a united front. And I'm like, this can't be that important to you. This is a level of maneuvering and posturing that is just so completely overthinky that I just don't want to get into it. I guess what I would say here is, I think it is probably unfair for the girlfriend to change her mind back and forth in a way that makes you look like an idiot. I think it is unfair for your sister for you to pull out after saying that you would back her up. And I think as much as you hate him, it's unfair for the father to be like, we're coming, we're not coming. But I think everyone's behavior in this story is pretty understandable.
Yeah.
You know, there's no one in it where I can go like, oh, what a freaking jerk. I think like tensions are high. Obviously, the dad has made Trump a pretty significant part of his personality. I think, you know, I would have trouble calling anyone in this story a real asshole.
Yeah, I'll piggyback on what you're saying there with everybody has an understandable sort of position here, because Trump did run on deporting people, right? Like that is just...
Yeah, and her parents are illegal immigrants.
You just can't ignore that, you know?
Yeah.
Now, you know what, actually, let's think of what this relationship looks like. Do you think the dad likes that the kid is dating the daughter of illegal immigrants?
He's probably annoying about it.
Yeah, God, dude, I don't know. It's so gross.
I mean, they say he's annoying about it.
I don't know. Look, the point that I'm going to get to here is that is it okay for her to be like, I do not want to go? 1,000,000%. In fact, I'm probably going to limit myself from saying it is or is not okay for her to react however she's reacting here. Like, I don't know. It's just not my place to say that because obviously she is dealing with this in a much closer way than I am, right? I will acknowledge my privilege here, as they say. But what I also don't love is like, well, I'm not going to allow you to maintain a connection with your family. You know what I mean? I think that is something that is hard for me to kind of accept because it is very clear that the poster here, the boyfriend, does not agree with the beliefs of his father, right? I would also think that it's clear that going to visit him for Thanksgiving is not an acceptance of those beliefs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So by telling your family, like, no, you need to cut him off, again, it is a reaction that I empathize with, but I'm not sure it is always correct. You know, I think even if you're not having direct arguments with your family about your political beliefs, you can still walk around them and confidently believe those beliefs in front of them. And that can, a lot of the time, be an effective method of getting themselves to check what they believe in, is what I mean, like your family. So all this to say, I don't know. I guess I'm coming to the same conclusion you did, Joseph, where it's like, well, nobody's really an asshole here. Everybody is having a very understandable reaction to the situation that we are in right now. Yeah, I guess that's kind of where, talking through it, that's at least where I'm landing at right now.
I think I'll give my perspective as like a Latin guy, right? You know,
as a Latinx,
in 2016, you know, I was pretty scared. Because
oh my god, I forgot you actually live this. Wait, hold up, I completely forgot you actually live this.
I wonder when the two white guys will shut up and let the Latino talk.
I completely forgot. Oh man, this go.
Yeah,
this
I'm not holding space for you. I get it.
No, it's funny because, you know, in 2016, I was pretty scared. Because I, you know, obviously personally knew family of friends of mine, not specifically like me or my family, just people I knew through like my mom's like friends of friends or close ones. And I didn't know if they were legal or not. And I was like, these are real people in my life who like love me and have seen me. And I'm like, is something bad going to happen to them? And I think thankfully nothing bad did happen. So I will say I empathize with this girl's emotional response to
and somewhat like righteous anger, right? You know?
Yes, absolutely. And I get where she's coming from. And I think that I feel much more prepared now, kind of more informational. I think I understand that, like, not to get into too political like thoughts, but at the very least, I think that both, obviously, Democrats and Republicans kind of hate Spanish people, kind of. No, it's a very general statement. But just that Biden, of course, and Kamala Harris were running on, like, we're going to be even more epic at the border. So I was like, okay, well, like, you know, like, both of these people will hate me. And then but like, one is, you know, worse. Regardless, I think that it's absolutely understandable. But at the same time, I feel like I now personally understand kind of that I have the kind of capacity to go into a kind of relationship with someone who might like think like might have voted for Trump or be worse, because it's really hard the first time. And so I think that this guy is conflating two issues and is not realizing like you can talk separately about this like manipulation you think that she's doing and say like sit down and be like, I absolutely understand your anger, your frustration, and your upsetness. I don't like it either, but I can't give up my family right now. Yeah. And like, that's a decision you're absolutely allowed to speak with to your significant other. And you're going to be like, I'm not going to force you, of course. And I know like the flip-flopping can be frustrating to me, but that's a separate issue. I get it. And I'm never going to force you to do X, Y, Z. I want to go support my sister. Like, that's the angle you're supposed to be taking. It's not about seeing the dad or whatever. You're really just supporting your other family members. You're not even supporting the dad in this instance. So I don't think you're an asshole for trying to speak with your girlfriend about this and actually convey your stuff. You would be kind of an asshole if you like don't listen to her and you just like ignore her or something. I don't know. The title is phrased strangely, but I will say that I get it. It's hard. And I think that you got to keep reminding yourself of this because it's so scary, especially for someone who might not know a lot about politics, because like I personally have learned like a lot, but in 2016, I was like scared and I was like, why would I ever talk to anyone who wanted to like deport my family or friends or like people who are like trying to make a quiet life for themselves and maybe got here because of a bad situation or whatever the case may be. And so it's understandable to be scared, freaked out, etc., especially during the, when you have presidents running on like, I'm gonna deport them all. So probably, of course, ended up where you guys ended up too. But I will say that I think you would definitely be an asshole if you don't try to like explain this to her.
Yeah.
But I don't think you're an asshole for, standing your ground and actually talking through with it.
Interesting question that pops into my mind with situations like this is just like, I understand the reality that politics are not separate from your person, right? There was this old belief, I talked about this with Mariah a lot, where there's sort of this previous generational belief that politics are something that are not discussed at the table. It's just you believe what you believe, and politics do not speak to who you are as a person. That's wrong, right? Like, if you willingly go out and you vote for a person who wants to make sure that there's genital inspectors in fucking bathrooms or, runs on deporting all people of a certain race, these are things that you are showing you are willing to sign a ballot for, and that does speak to your person. So the concept of like, when do you cut your family off? Like, when does it get to the point where you separate yourself and you just say, look, you voted for something that I find reprehensible and I can't do this, And I think that point looks different for everyone, and there's a lot of context around it, because I do think that a lot of people that voted for Trump can be convinced that a lot of the things that they believe, they can be changed, and it's not your job to change them, but when you make the decision to cut off your family because of that, you now no longer have the opportunity to try. And I'm not even saying that in this specific situation, what he should be doing is constantly trying to change his dad. I don't know. The point I'm getting at here is it is a very, very difficult thing to ask of someone to no longer go see or speak to their family. And I just don't know if that's a thing that can be asked. I mean, I guess it can. Because, like I said, I do understand with her position here and her fear and her anger, of course. But I guess he has some agency in the situation too, right? He has to also be able to make that call. And that's a really hard thing to ask of someone to do, because they are your family, It's a
case-by-case basis.
It is.
It is.
Like,
you just have to make these calls and speak, and hopefully your partner will help and work with you and want to be with you and draw the lines where necessary. Yeah. And like they're trying to compromise, but I think that you got to keep talking about it.
This is the worst situation to need to compromise for, but it is
if you want to make it work, of course. You can both draw hard lines and say, all right, well, it is what it is. But
all right, you guys want to vote on this?
Yeah.
Decision time.
All right, when it comes to this guy, who he's got a lot of things to deal with in the immediate future. Do you think he's the asshole, Jordan?
No. I think this is one of those, as Reddit would call, no assholes here situation. It's just, God, it sucks. It's just a sucky, shitty thing that a lot of people are going to be going through at this time of the history of the United States. It's rough, but I mean, I don't know. She is asking something very hard of you, and I don't think she is an asshole for asking it, but I also don't think you are an asshole for, refusing the request of staying in contact with your family. Yeah. So no, he's not the asshole.
Danny?
Yeah, I agree. I think that it's a deeper conversation. I don't think you're the asshole, and I don't think that she would be an asshole. Again, I think most of the people in this conversation are not like assholes. I understand where they all come from, But I don't think you're an asshole for figuring out where you need to be with your family, standing that ground and what that ground is, and communicating that with your girlfriend, and hopefully finding a compromise and correctly identifying the right issues and moving aside the other ones. So I don't think you're an asshole, no.
I'm gonna say no too, but I will say I think that this guy is gonna have to like have a frank talk with his girlfriend.
Right.
Like, what's the long-term goal here? Like, are you two going to be okay with this father-in-law situation? Are you going to be able to get over this weird, like, resentfulness you have over her? Or is that just going to be constantly something that's eating away at you if you aren't able to be on good terms with your dad? What's your relationship with your dad like? I mean, he calls him annoying all the time. He says he sucks. He says, I wish I didn't have to see him, but, like, only on these terms, and I have to back up my sister. It's going to be a you thing that you got to resolve.
Yeah, nobody likes anybody here, apparently. And boy, this is something that can be resolved. It truly can.
Yeah.
And I think there, as you pointed out, Joseph, there's some other relationship things going on here. Well, she gets all this language from TikTok and it's like, yes, okay, I get it. Overly therapized language is annoying and kind of problematic in its own way, but you're just airing out your relationship complaints here with this.
It's great.
Yeah.
The council has spoken.
All right. So this one was about a guy who was so trumped up that he absolutely alienated his family.
Okay.
This next one is the opposite.
Oh, let's go.
Folks, get your libbers
Oh,
ready.
yeah.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Here we go. This comes from Mysterious Links 3149. Am I the asshole for banning my brother from Thanksgiving because he told my girlfriend the men are talking?
Awesome. Oh, yes.
Chad.
God. Oh, I love an excuse tag.
Well, I mean, the question should be, were the men talking? All right. I'm 28.
Hate you.
My girlfriend Bailey, spelled Baylee.
Oh, what's the matter?
And my brother Isaac are 26.
Isaac.
Bailey voted for Trump while Isaac voted for Kamala. I don't care at all. There's good people on both sides, and I've never been interested in politics.
Holy, my brain is it's enlarging.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. God.
I mean, why aren't we asking this guy for advice? They used to get along, but he found out she voted Trump and straight up hates her now. He kept going on about how she voted against him having rights. I mean, I'm just making an assumption here.
Oh.
Is he gay?
Okay.
I don't know.
All right. I feel like it's not that deep. People are allowed to disagree. He's just been avoiding Bailey since then. She was upset but got over it and decided to take the high ground with him. Isaac stopped by last night to pick up his Switch. Bailey was also here. She told him she'd like for him to come to Thanksgiving so they could move on from the whole thing. He said, "Sweetie, the men are talking."
Okay, maybe you're right. Just
Ah, jeez.
She asked him what was wrong with him. He went, "What? Women shouldn't speak without permission. Isn't that what you voted for?"
Brother.
She went, "I voted for the economy, shit for brains." I stepped between them and told Isaac he was on his own for Thanksgiving if he was going to talk to her like that. Bailey called him a child, and he told her if she was going to vote to be treated like a second-class citizen, he was going to treat her that way.
Dude.
I was beyond pissed and told him he had 5 seconds to leave before I called the cops. Thankfully, he left. Bailey was shaken by the whole thing. She doesn't feel safe around him anymore and wants me to go no contact. I told her I was thinking about it. I've got some weird reactions when I told my family. Everybody felt like I made things worse by threatening the cops. Correct?
You did.
A few of them claimed she's being dramatic, and they all said I shouldn't choose her over him. None of my friends wanted to give their perspective. They all were like, I'm staying out of this one, buddy. But it's also worth pointing out just about everybody else likes Isaac. So I don't know, and I'm here to try and get an unbiased opinion.
I gotta say, Isaac's the most annoying person in the world. Can I just jump in and say that? I'm sorry.
Yeah,
You really epically owned her, dude. America saved. Good job.
America saved. I was a misogynist.
I was a misogynist. Hell yes.
Just go to twitch.tv/MBT Yu-Gi-Oh.
Well, if you're going to vote for a person who's going to treat you like a second-class citizen, I've got news for you, bitch.
Dude, like, I just, man.
Who did this? Was it the new Colbert Show or something that made everyone think like the number one epic own is to be like, oh, you voted for a guy who hates you? Well, guess what? Now I hate you. Like, what's going on? Where is this coming from?
I genuinely, this immediately reminds me of after the election. Many liberals came in and were like, oh, well, you voted for Trump, so hope you get deported. I was like, oh
Yes!
my God. So like, I understand your anger and frustration, but I cannot believe that the anger is, I hope that you like die or like you are a second class citizen, so I will therefore treat you as one. Like, irregardless of who you voted for, I understand your anger, frustration, and you can absolutely be like, that was horrible and I hate that, and like that's something I'll never, I don't think I can ever really get over, or at least, this is rough. But to go as far as to be like, I'm going to treat you like a 1920s woman who has like no rights. Dude, step off the LARPs, man. Get off TikTok. I understand there's like hundreds of these videos of people being like, serves them right. Guess they'll suffer under the new consequences. No, man, like, come on. Be human. Be empathetic. All that being said, this was a heated moment, an emotional argument, and they both got upset. I think this, coming in and like calling the cops is like, IMO is like very unnecessary. Like the escalation was way too much, but I guess if it made them feel safe, sure, I get it. I get just being like, you gotta leave, and if he's not leaving, well, that's step 2, which is terrible as well.
Right.
I guess I'll just say I don't think you're an asshole for banning your brother from Thanksgiving. If you're like hosting or whatever, like I think that unless like if they're going to be like that, right? If they're going to be a literal like hostile person treating your like significant other as a second class like citizen thing, that just is a horrible environment. And I don't know. I mean, like regardless of like how I feel about their opinions on who they voted for, etc., this I feel like is just, it's too much. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I can't get over when you mentioned like you voted for Trump, I'm gonna deport you. Like,
yes,
this
is exactly what it screams for me.
I'll never forget this. It was the TikTok of that like young guy who was like, hey, I heard there were a lot of Latinos for Trump, so if you notice any of your undocumented neighbors with a Trump sign, here's the number for ICE. Go ahead and give them a call, because that's what they voted for. Anyway, guys, let me know in the comments what you think. I'm gonna content creatorize my resentment, and actually, I am also against my people's own interests.
Yeah.
All deep down. Like, that level of spite and just awful. It's awful. I'm sorry. It's just awful. It's awful. Like, yes, there is a part of you that can be like you are going, okay, look, I'm going to get a little libbed up here. Fine.
Livers.
The coconut tree never dies. There are going to be times when you are going to be around your family members. If you have family members that voted for Trump, there are going to be family members that are going to, if these tariffs actually happen and they realize how expensive shit is going to get, they're going to start complaining about it. And in your mind, you're going to go like, serves you right. That's going to be there. It's going to happen to me too.
I think many people are going to experience that.
And you know what? You can even go so far as to say like, hey, people tried to talk about what these tariffs would do. You still voted for them anyway, Do you understand like the ramifications of this? Again, even that, I think that's still a level of petty that is acceptable. But when you get to the point where it's like, well, now I'm racist, or now I'm a misogynist, it's like, come on. Like, yeah, you're really going to bring people over to the aisle by this shit that you're doing, It's just...
Yeah.
Like, you're so epic. You're so epic, Isaac. That's awesome. I'm so happy for you that you owned her.
I absolutely understand Isaac being like, this sucks. And like, I really didn't like this from you. And the insults suck. And part of like, I guess I'll say like leftism or whatever, just like, being like a progressive person or a good person involves understanding that like you're like annoyed and you want them to have their comeuppance, but also understanding that you're like there for them and being understanding of like, I want everyone to be okay, right? Like I don't care if you're a Republican. I want you to have health care. I don't care if you voted for Trump and you're like a woman. I want you to have rights. I want you to be able to choose if you do this, that, the other, right? That's part of being like on the, I guess I'll say, right side of history in my head. Not to be more political, but it sucks to see those like insults hurled at you.
Yeah, it's from Isaac's point here. He's like, well, I think Trump is bad. I think the world that he believes in is bad. And you voted for him. So I will be the person that helps create that world for you. Like, I think this is bad, but I do not care because I want you to experience it. And it's like, awesome, man. That's cool. Good job. You owned her.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I really think is kind of out there is calling the cops. Come on, don't call your cops.
So dramatic.
I will say, you know, not to play into stereotypes, but the Trump-loving couple calling the cops as soon as someone does a bid at them,
Yeah.
But no, I will say,
okay, fair enough, yeah.
as much as I want to get libbed up and be on this, like, catty guy's side, come on. Like, geez, Louise. Just do what the rest of us do and silently judge them. Do what the rest of us do and put them on the pay no mind list. You don't need to be like, you're a woman. All right, how do we feel about this?
Hold on. Let me ask then. Do we think that it's okay to ban them from Thanksgiving, though? The brother. This is like, I guess, the brother, right?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, if...
I don't know. I'm actually pretty torn.
Yeah, I don't...
Because it's not like, you know, like, does this person have that authority?
That's a good question.
Like, right? Like, is this okay? Like, we just talked about the last one, understanding that sometimes your family sucks and, like, this guy sucks.
Yeah, that's true.
But it's like, is it okay to ban the brother from Thanksgiving? Yeah, that was a pretty bad situation. And absolutely the girlfriend is like, okay to be like, that was horrible. Like, I really don't want you to talk about that again or talk to him again and subsequently not invite him to Thanksgiving. But like, that's family, right? Do you let that through?
Yeah, that's a good point. Oh man, what do you do in this? Yeah,
it's hard. That's why I was like, I don't fucking know.
Man,
lots of liberals in the Reddit comments. I'm living up.
Let me try to parse out my feelings on this. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
If I think that the girlfriend should allow the boyfriend to go to Thanksgiving, even though he voted for a candidate that has policies against her family, do I think it's okay for the poster to ban the boyfriend for being actively misogynist to his girlfriend? I don't know the pronouns of the poster. So, oh man. Okay. I have figured out my stance on this.
All right. Well, time to vote.
Decision time.
Jordan, you're up first.
I think where I'm landing is that, much like we said in the previous post, a lot of reactions and a lot of tempers are going to be high, but ostracizing people, I mean, it's understandable in a lot of cases, but basically, like, you can resolve this, and you probably should work towards resolving this in such a way that does not involve banning them from Thanksgiving. You know what I mean? Like, you should be like, hey, what you did was not cool. Before you come to Thanksgiving, we need to just, like, hash this out, because I understand you have different beliefs, and I understand that those beliefs are important to you, but you can't speak that way to her. And, like, I want you to be there because we're family, but you just can't do that, you know? And I think you should work on, the first thing you should work towards is resolving this rather than just not letting him there, you know? Because it was a thing in the heat of the moment. He probably will apologize about this. You know, if it got to the point where it wasn't threatening to call the cops, he probably would have gotten to the point where he apologized. I'm taking a guess, I'm taking a leap, but I think working towards that is better than just jumping right to the banning from the Thanksgiving table. That's where I land.
Danny?
Yeah, I think you would be an asshole for continuing this sort of kind of hate train and being like, nice epic own, I'm going to epic own you back, and now you can't come to Thanksgiving. I understand the frustration, I understand the anger, and I understand being like upset. Clearly calling the cops on your family, that's a pretty, like, I think, like, we didn't talk about it too much, but like, that's an upsetting thing, right? Like, that is super upsetting across your family. Like, why would you call the police on your family, right? Like,
he didn't actually do it, though. I just want to point that out.
Yeah. But the threat is already horrifying, right? Like, that's such a, like, cut off that feels so, like, super upsetting. And I think that's, like, I don't know, that would mean to me the situation is, like, really dire. And for reading from it, it doesn't seem like it's that insane. I get emotions run high. I think you would be an asshole for immediately then banning your brother from, like, Thanksgiving. Like, that also doesn't help anyone, right?
Yeah.
Like, it only helps your girlfriend feel much better about herself and allows her to kind of control everything about what's going on, right? They told you to go no contact, no more guy at Thanksgiving. Like, everything just like is resolved to just never fix this or figure it out. Like, I guess you have that choice, but like, that is rough. And like, personally, something I wouldn't be able to do from this situation. I think you would be an asshole.
I think I have to agree.
Yeah.
It's
really hard. I'm not
on
saying
one hand,
this like
I want to cut him slack. Yeah, but on the other hand, come on, calling your cops because he did an epic clapback. Like, be real. I will say the very funny part of this story for me, which we didn't really take a look at, is that every single person this guy knows sided with Isaac. It's like the entire family's like, oh, you should have been nicer to Isaac. And all the friends are like, he's like, yeah, isn't that crazy? And they're like, I don't want to tell you my take on the situation.
So right. They don't say anything.
How much must I bet this woman sucks, or I bet Isaac is incredible. One of the two.
Because the fact that they were like, I don't know. That's a you problem.
That's crazy,
I'm
man.
not gonna...
Damn. Anyway, so how about the game?
The council has spoken.
All right, this third one comes from Am I the Asshole? The title is Am I the Asshole for Not Keeping Up the Family Tradition? This is the last in our Family Destruction
God,
series.
there's so much family.
My 25M wife 24F gave birth to our son 2 weeks ago. My family has the tradition of naming the child months of the year for the 5 generations on my mom's side.
British.
My name is December. I've shortened it to Dec, hoping people will think it's short for Declan or something normal. My brothers are called August and July. Poor guy. Nothing you can do about that one. And my sisters are called April, June, and May. Not so bad. My wife and I called our son Tobias. We kept the name a secret until he was born, and we had signed the birth certificate so it couldn't be changed. When we told my parents a week ago, they were not happy. Even though my dad has the normal name of Alex, he liked the tradition. My sister, June, named her daughter March to keep with the tradition, so my parents expected me to do the same. My mom continually said we should call the baby September for a girl and October for a boy throughout the pregnancy. I never outright said I wasn't going to because I know what lengths they would go to make sure my baby would have a month as a name. My brothers were on board when we told them, understanding growing up with the teasing. My parents left after saying we were disrespecting my heritage by not following the tradition. I told them I wasn't going to name my child a ridiculous name because of some old, long dead, crazy man who decided months of the year would be good names, and just because my mom was stupid enough to join him in his madness didn't mean I had to. They stormed out and hadn't spoken to me since. My sisters said I should just have named him a month to keep the peace, and I'm the asshole for insulting my mom. I feel as if I'm looking out for what's best for my son. My family seems to think my wife has brainwashed me into calling him something normal, even though I never made it a secret that I hate my name. Am I the asshole?
Okay, I wish I could have the poster's parents explain, what is this heritage?
The heritage is you have to name your kid a month of the year.
Yeah, no, but like from what? Like, what?
What do you mean from what? Because it's your heritage.
You're right. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry I asked that.
Okay,
dare you? How dare
can
you?
I start this one out?
Yeah, go for it.
Yes, please.
Okay, so I want you all to pay very close attention to the people in this story who are telling him what he should do and the people who are agreeing with him.
Okay.
Every single person who is telling him he should have respected the tradition is a woman. And
Awesome,
every
dude.
single person who says you should do what you want is a man. Am I being misogynist? No. Here's why that matters. April, May, yeah, those are normal
Fair
names.
point.
Of course
Fair
the women
point.
are... Why can't you name your kid after a month? We did fine, said April. Meanwhile, the son named July is like, no, dude, you can't name this fucking kid after a month. The parents want them to name the child October. You understand? That's insane,
Go to your
right?
room,
And the last thing you need is a girl named June to be like, oh, it's not so bad. Maybe for you, motherfucker. My name is December. Oh my God.
You weren't there in 4th grade. November was the worst month ever.
Oh, man.
Okay. I have come around on months as names for the most part. And Joseph, I am going to agree with you for girl names typically.
For women.
Yes. Now, I don't know. I mean, if somebody's name was October, you could call them Toby. You know, that's pretty good. That's pretty cute.
Oh, you know, in
Oh.
fact, they wanted the boy to be named October, and they named the kid Tobias. That's a pretty
that's
good
clever.
compromise.
That's a clever lie.
That's not bad. Well, maybe they should have kept up the line and just called him Toby around them, and they would be like, for October, and they'd be like, oh yeah, for October, dumbass.
You like prep your kid like, okay, so your parents, they're a little crazy. They're going to call you October. That's not your name.
That's not your name. Just roll with it. Just roll with
roll
it, and I'll
with it.
buy you McDonald's.
Yeah.
Yay! I love my fake name. There you go.
What about
anyway.
my name? Shut up, September.
Yeah. I don't know. I do like months of the year as names for girls, but I don't know. Maybe that. Look, okay. I'm
naming my daughter January.
Yeah. Well, you call them Jane, right? Okay.
you
I'm thinking too hard
really?
about this.
January? No,
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
know,
Look.
I wouldn't.
As much as I think months of the year as names are actually kind of clever, and me personally, I think they're okay. I hate the idea that you absolutely must do a family tradition, right? I think family traditions are fun little things that every part of the family has a unspoken rule that they can opt out of them at any time. And this is one of those things where a baby's name is very important to you. Nobody gets to tell you besides the two of you what the name is. So,
Oh,
oh.
I actually do have one story about
okay,
this.
okay.
So both my parents and my uncle and aunt, their names start with the same letter. So
Okay.
on that half of my family, everyone's name starts with an M, right? And they all said, you know what we'll do? We will name all of our children names that start with that letter too, so they can refer to themselves as the M's, right?
Okay.
My parents' names start with S's, and they were like, all right, so you're going to pick kids that start with S. And my parents went, we're not doing that shit. What are you talking about?
Nice.
So I do think there are these rules and stuff that you really can just opt out of if you
I
want
agree.
to.
I
I
agree.
agree.
It was a little tense for a little bit because they didn't follow through on it, but it's like, but I didn't have to grow up with a name that I didn't like.
Yep. And I think that is very important.
Like September.
Yeah. What's up, Temby? What's up, member?
Maybe like Tim.
Yeah. How do you shorten September?
I think Tim
No,
is
Bert.
the closest.
It's Bert. September. Bert.
Oh,
Got it.
That's
Got
good.
it.
That's good. Bert. But Bert sucks too.
How dare you?
Well, it's better than September. Maybe Sep? No.
No.
Separate.
I hate you both.
It's bad. I have nothing other to say than that.
Yep.
I was just going to talk about a bit, like, obviously the explosion at the end. And, like, I get it. This is one of those I get it moments, you know? Like, I absolutely understand. Even if you got a little harsh and a little mean, I'm completely fine with that. Like, in this moment, it's kind of a mixture of a little bit of mean, but a little bit of standing your ground and saying, this is my kid. It's my decision. Done. End of story. That's your, like, I would never, ever make someone feel bad about that, you know? Like, just...
Yeah.
And so I can't say I can't really call them an asshole for doing that. I just like keep thinking about what Joseph said, that like the girls here, or at least the people who like want to keep the peace, or like, you should have named your child September to keep the peace. Like, no, there are boundaries, and that's one of them.
Yeah. I am not doing that shit.
I am not doing that shit.
All right. Are we ready to vote on this
for
one?
Sure.
Decision time.
All right. When it comes to this disgusting man who wouldn't name his child February, is he the asshole? 3, 2, 1. No.
Nope. Not at
And
all.
don't let some motherfucker named June tell you differently.
The council has spoken.
All right. I think that's it for today. Anyone got any closing thoughts?
I'm shocked how many name posts we've done.
Yeah, we have done a lot of them actually.
They should have named the kid Vriska.
Yeah.
Oh
Awesome,
my
dude.
god.
Awesome. Yep. No, I just hope everybody had a wonderful Thanksgiving. Hope everybody hangs in there. We're all gonna be fine. And
can do it.
I smooch you all. That's it.
This is my hustle mentality, inspiration, alpha male post.
Yep.
You can do it. Get up, clean your room, and eat good food.
Oh, good. There you go.
Boom.
Awesome. We're nailing it.